Hey my friends, I'm going to teach you how to create the Charley Harper inspired art using your Google Drawings. We are going to start with a background, and you're going to use a two-finger click to basically right-click, two-finger click to change the background. Right now I have this blue gradient thing going on. I'm going to show you how to do that. So two-finger click to go to background, and I have chosen gradient, so it could either be a solid, which just makes everything one color, or it can be a gradient. I like the gradient look, so when I choose my gradient, it's like this. Otherwise you can get really fancy with it with a custom. And to add different colors into it, you're going to add, and then you can click here to change the colors. So if you wanted a darker blue, and wherever you put this dot is where that blue is going to end up being. So I can add, and I can change things, and I can make it ridiculous. So that's how I did the fancy gradient before. And I just keep on changing my color, and you can change the colors to however you want them to be. Alright, so once you hit OK, that's what you've got on your screen. Now, to create the Charley Harper inspired art, you're going to use a lot of shapes and lines. So these two right here, line and shape, are going to be your best friends for this project. So let's start out. I'm going to end up making a squirrel, and I'm going to start with this shape right here. So when you click on these, it brings up the drop down menu. When you go to your shapes, there's arrows. Maybe you need an arrow for something, or cutouts. Any of these are options, but shapes are probably where you're going to want to stick. I'm going to choose this shape for my squirrel head, and it's going to automatically go to this very, very light blue. So you're going to want to go to this fill color. It's the one that has the blue line under it. It's going to change. That color is going to change the second you click on it and choose a different color. I am going to choose a squirrel color. I'm going to just have it bright orange. And then you just keep on going back and choosing your shapes that you want to make your animal. Now I'm going to go ahead and keep on going with this. Actually, I'm going to Control C when I've highlighted that, and then Control V, and now I have two. I'm going to turn it around by clicking and dragging so that I've now flipped the shape. So now I have the ears. I don't like that it's got the black line around it. If you like that look, that's fine. I'm not such a fan of it at this point. So if I wanted to take it away, I could just highlight everything and then just click this pencil tool, which is the outline, and then I can just hit transparent, and it automatically unifies everything. Alright, so we are going to keep on going, and I might end up speeding up this process. You can also turn your shapes when you click this circle. And this right here, you see the little orange diamond. If you click that, you can change the shape around even further. Maybe make it a little wider. You're gonna need to play around with it to make it do what you want it to do. And again, I'm changing the colors to make it how I want it. Alright, so I'm starting to get my basic shapes. Remember, Charley used a lot of circles. Control C, Control V, so I have two of the exact same shape for my circles. The nice thing about Google Drawings is if you've noticed, it gives you red lines for guides so that you know that your shapes are going to be right in line with each other. So if you see that red line, that means that it's in line of the shapes that you want it to be. Alright, so now I have my basic squirrel head. I'm going to want to add a squirrel body. I'm going to use this shape. It's a chord. Now, my chord, I need to use that diamondy shape to make it more straight. I'm going to change my color to make sure it fits, and I'm going to angle it so that it's the right size. I want them a little bit bigger. One of the other things that you're going to need to be aware of is right now this shape is on the very top layer. I want to send it back, so I'm going to go to Arrange, Order, Send to Back. So now it's behind. Now I'm noticing that if I do that though, now without those outlines, it looks like it's like combined, and I don't really like that. So I am going to put the outline back for that, and that works well for me. If I want outlines for everything, I can just highlight. Everything is selected, and then I can just go ahead and add my outlines to everything. I need to add a tail, and none of these shapes work as well as I want it to, so I'm going to go to Line. There's a drop-down menu, and I'm going to want a curve line. So I draw my line, and it shows you the curve right away, and I think I made mine too big, so what I'm going to do is just kind of, and then it brings it back to itself. I don't like that at all, so I'm just going to delete it and try again. Making sure that you're clicking on it. If you've got this little X or cross, then you know that it's going to be the right shape for what you want. And I can just keep on going with my points, so I'm just clicking every time it changes shape. That's a click. So click, 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 click. Now I can select it, and I can change its shape more by making it wider or taller. But again, it is in front. I don't want it to be in front. I don't want it that color. I want it that color. I don't want it in front of my squirrel. Maybe I want it behind my squirrel, like it's from behind. Although right now my squirrel looks like it's looking over its shoulder at me. And maybe I do like that. Alright. If I want to add lines, more lines to my squirrel's tail, I'm going to want them to be straight. So I'm going to go to my straight line. When I do that, if you notice, wherever I touch, it's got key points. This one does not have key points. So I can take my line, I'm going to grab and click. So I'm just going to keep on making some more lines. I'm going to Control C, Control V, so now I have two lines here. You can click and drag to make it longer. Control C, Control V. So now I have my lines that I'm adding to my squirrel. Alright, so now I have some lines on my squirrel. There's more things that I can add, more details, so think about the details that you want to add to your squirrel or whatever you end up making. Are you going to make a bird? Are you going to make a walrus? Whatever you choose to make, you're going to want to think about what that animal is and simplify it down to its simple lines and shapes to create your image. So here's basically where we're at with our imaging, and that is how you create a Charley Harper inspired Google drawing.